Welcome student. Today I would like to tell you about the Einstein's coefficient. What is Einstein coefficient of radiation? Einstein coefficient is a mathematical quantity which can measure the probability of rate of absorption or emission of photon of radiation, right? So suppose there are two types of Einstein's coefficient. One is Einstein coefficient A and another one is B. So what about the Einstein coefficient A? So this is the suppose their probability of rate of absorption of a spontaneous emission from 2 to 1 is directly proportional to number of atoms present in the metastable state or excited state, right? And when this proportional sign is removed and when we put the equal sign, then some constants, that is A21, is called the Einstein's coefficient of radiation. Suppose there are three energy level. One is ground energy level represented by E0. Another one is excited energy state, that is E2, and there is a intermediate state called the E1. This is called meta-stable state. Meta means semi-stable, right? So when a photon is incident at the ground state of atom, then it will absorb this photon and excited and jump from 0 to excited state E2. But here this atom is not stay for a longer time because it is in excited states. The state time, approximate state time of this atom is 10 to the power 8 seconds. After that it jumps to the metastable states and emitting some photon. During jump it emits some photon, a spontaneous emission, right? So the probability of rate of spontaneous emission from 2 to 1 is directly proportional to number of atoms present in this excited state, N2 state, right? So when this proportional sign is removed, then some constant is put, is known as the Einstein's coefficient of rate of spontaneous emission, A21. And another one is Einstein's coefficient is B also. B is also called the Einstein's coefficient of rate of absorption or rate of emission, induced emission. So what about the rate of absorption? Suppose the atoms are present on the ground state. When these atoms absorb some energy, then it gains some energy and it will rise or jump from the ground state to the excited state, right? So probability of rate of absorption from 1 to 2 is directly proportional to number of atoms present in the ground state and UV is the energy density of radiation. So when this proportional sign is removed, then when we put the equal sign, then some constant is put, that is called the B12. B12 is the Einstein's coefficient of rate of absorption of radiation, right? And what about, this is B12, and what about B21? B21 is the Einstein's coefficient of stimulated emission. Suppose there are the metastable states E1, and when this energy is jumps from the E1 to ground state, when the photon is incident on this metastable state, then it jumps from the metastable state to the ground states, emitting some photons. that is called the stimulated emission. So one is emitting photon and another one is incident. Both are moving in the same direction. So this process is known as the stimulated emission, means induced emission, means it is forced emission caused by the incident radiation, right? So this is one equation, this is two, and whatever the three equation is probability of jump from 1 to 0 is directly proportional to number of atoms present in this metastable state, right, and energy uv. So when this equal sign is removed and we have to put some constant, that is called the B21. This B21 is the Einstein's coefficient of spontaneous emission of radiation. Thank you very much.